Good afternoon, my friends and Mr. Eko. Today, I would like to present about psychoanalytic love and revenge, even in Desire Under the Elms. First, I will explain to you about psychoanalytic. Psychoanalytic is a branch of science developed by Sigmund Freud and his followers as a study of human psychological function and behaviors. Psychoanalytic has three applications: research methods of the mind, systematic science of human behavior, and methods of treatment of psychological or emotional illness. Theories that seek to explain the nature and development of human personality. The elements that take precedence in the theory and motivation, emotion, and other internal aspects. This theory also assumes that personality develops if conflict of this psychological aspect, which generally occur in children or adults. Freud's study of human personality based on his experience, analysis of his dreams, and his extensive reading of the diverse literature of science and humanity. This experience provides data fundamental to the evolution of the theory. In the story, Desire Under the Elms states that Eben couples love and revenge, a famous formal plays. Desire Under the Elms with criticism of Freudian psychological interpretation of love and revenge drives. The essay conjures up dramatic manifestation of revenge and horror. When Eben loves for his mother turns him into an avenger in revenge on his father Ephraim Cabot. When Eben thinks his mother murdered by his father, he gives his mother a disappointing by stripping him by not acknowledging his two older brothers. In addition, he managed to seduce his newly married stepmother, Abby Putnam, and managed to sleep with him. After she gave birth to Baby, she gave it herself only to Eben. When Abby leaves Cabot's house and rushes with Eben, Eben's father feels humiliated while Eben feels he has finally taken revenge. Desire Under the Elms character list. The first, Ephraim Cabot. Ephraim Cabot is the owner of the farmhouse. He worked hard to establish the farm. However, he married 3 times, Simeon and Peter, his son, by her first wife. On the other hand, even by his second wife. We also know he brings Abby Putnam as his third wife. Second, Eben. Eben is the central character in the play. He is the handsome young man and son of Cabot by his second wife. He declares revenge against his father in order to satisfy his mother's soul. For this, her falls in love with Abby and having physical relation with her. Third, Abby Putnam. She is the villain of the play. This 37-year-old lady decided to marry Cabot, only getting owner of the land. When she is informed that Cabot is important, then she starts flattering Eben for having a child by him. But finally she loves Eben truly and kills her newborn child. Psychoanalytic in Desire Under the Elms. The first, ego. The ego is the component of personality that is responsible for dealing with reality. Freud assumes that the ego, the conscious rational part of the mind, which makes decisions and deals with external reality. The ego develops from the ID and ensures that the impulses of the ID can be expressed in a manner acceptable in the real world. The ego functions in the conscious, preconscious, and unconscious mind. In Desire Under the Elms, Eben has quite a high ego. He planned revenge on his father for his mother's death. Eben married his father's new wife and committed abomination, resulting in a child. In this way, Eben can bring a solution to his problem with his father. Eben did not kill his father at all, but planned to give his father a severe punishment rather than death. Eben thought he was going to kill his father, but he gave his father suffering. Eben's ego is his temperament that wants revenge for his mother's death, and also he steers clear of his brothers. The second, unconscious. It is the deepest part of the structure of consciousness, and according to Freud is the more important part of the human soul. Freud especially proves that unconsciousness is not a hypothetical abstraction, but it is an empirical reality. That unconsciousness contains instincts, impulses, and drivers brought from birth, and traumatic experiences that are suppressed by consciousness so as to move into areas of unconsciousness. Even unconsciousness will retaliate by killing his father and eventually simply staying away from his father, selling the land, and marrying his father's new wife. The hatred that Eben inflicts on his father is absolute. Eben's love for his dead mother and his hatred for his father cannot be compared to each other, but it is true that his love for his mother was meant to unify with him, while his plan to kill his father signified separation from him. In the play, even the hater inflicts constant suffering on his father, who is hate. The play reveals even contains revenge scenes on his father, who is stung with threats and fear. It ends with Eben feelings for self-care and a solution to his conflict with his father. Eben tries to live his father in a world of extreme loneliness, to die in it every day. For this, Eben is finally identified with the death drive and completes his mission, which brings him to what Freud terms self-preservation and solution, until finally unconscious Eben produce absolute hatred. Analysis. In Desire Under the Elms, psychoanalytic will describe Eben's feelings of love for his mother and feelings of revenge against his father. Eben Cabot's psychoanalytic drives reading of Desire Under the Elms can be analyzed as criminal case study in which Eben Cabot, a 25-year-old man, investigates the cause of his mother's death and decides to punish the wrongdoer. As far as psychoanalysis theory is concerned, Eben manifests psychological two different types of emotional impulse in his nature, the impulse of love and revenge drives death. From Sigmund Freud's psychological interpretation, it is understandable that Eben's feelings of love and revenge can be debated to represent two types of instinctive impulses, which ultimately contribute to the formation of his mind. In addition, Freud advanced the idea of this drive beyond the principle of pleasure and other writing, in which he claims, on the basis of theoretical consideration supported by the biological, which suggests the drive of death is tasked with causing animated organisms to return to state of death, while Eros pursues the goal of maximization the complexity of life, thus, of course, preserving it a combination of increasingly Catholic particles in which living matter have been fragmented. Eben's intense anger as felt at the beginning of the play reflects Freudian in the idea of the driving force of death. Soon as the drama continues, Freudian notion of death or the drive becomes very powerful in Eben. Eben's confidence in his father Brain, the only one the killer to his mother. It becomes clear in his request to his brothers, isn't he a slave maud the death? This question increasingly introduces us to his father becoming complete aliens to them, and in the same time opening a very regrettable side of messy family bonds at the time in American false beliefs, running for success, and abuse falling really mark a remarkable impact on the family, and their relationship is broken apart. A prime pride in his success and the so-called disdain with his children makes a prime example. However, Eben's deep love for his mother was clearly perceived in asking his brother about his mother, and that eventually paved the way for his mother's revenge. Thus, the seeds of father-son conflict began to bloom in the drama. Eben plans to take the house from his father at first, which he thinks will first step to revenge. She started planning how she would have her mother the farmhouse, and in the end found a way to inflict on his father the punishment he deserved. Eben realized that the way his father separated him from his mother, he would also keep father of the farm, which is the only oppressed possession where he has spent 50 years alive. It is true that the farm was so close of ownership to his father that he himself claimed his newly married wife Abby Putnam. The last conclusion. From a review of the drama Desire Under the Elms, written by O'Neill, a number of the themes comes out clearly and includes his love and revenge, responsible for his action, hatred towards his father stemming from his mother's death. It is a good game that reads about psychoanalytic because it teaches a lot of what in the story. This essay is a critical analysis of this play, Desire Under the Elms, written by the first American naturalist who, in his play, manifests different modern ideas and focus on a kind of literary strategy in addition. He described a very complex psychological human life in literary works such as love, double play, conflict, and revenge. This division has been relevant in its presentation of symbolic feature, marks, delineation of inner tension, complexity, fragmented personalities, and beautiful effects. In this way, the reader can explore the psychological distorting world to the fullest. Literally, his text transcends the romantic theoretical look of the bohemian life of America's materialistic society, and rather depicts the tragic reality in which his character has been seen to suffer a kind of inner conflict and mental discontent. It is considered the most famous of the playwrights and has been read in many learning institutions. The play was written in three main actions and have been very influential in what means things. The essay will briefly rotate plots, character lists, and discuss in detail the main theme from the play. It shall be noted that in any work, the character used to the main purpose of any game of literature. On the same note, the plays it on imprints form where all the three acts the place. Similarly, the story is to manifest the psychologically intensive and contradictory nature of Ibn Gabbat, and some of the action takes place in that sequence. Thank you.